My name is Mike Hall. I'm president and founder of Strong Fathers, Strong Families, and welcome to the Strong Fathers video series. Today we're going to talk about why would we even want to engage fathers in the education of their kids, either in schools or Head Starts. We know that when you hear about father involvement, father engagement, one of the first things that's said is, well, if fathers are involved in the lives of their kids, there's less juvenile crime, there's less teen pregnancy, there's less future adult incarceration. And we know that's true, and those are good goals, but in the school business, in education, that's not the only thing we want to do. We know that when dads help kids in their education, they become better learners. Not just better students, not just less likely to be a criminal, but actually help these kids at an early age be better learners. So when we look at how fathers help kids to be better learners, we know that fathers actually help kids become more completely developed as young children, as young adults. And so all this, in this segment, we're going to talk about what are the positive outcomes for kids when fathers are engaged in their education. One of the first things we know is that when fathers get involved with their kids, when fathers are spending time with their children, those kids are, they have a greater tolerance for stress, they handle frustration better, they're less likely to feel like they need to be the center of attention in a classroom, and they deal with not being able to do that, and they maintain their focus better. And we know that from what we've seen, we know that from the research, but also dads are less likely to rescue a child. So they let kids handle more frustration than moms typically do. Moms tend to rescue quicker. Dads, we even get in trouble for not rescuing our kids like we need to sometimes, or like mom thinks we need to. But because we don't rescue as soon as mom does, this kid learns to handle frustration better. Why is that important? Because frustration is inherent to learning. Without frustration, it's not learning, it's just practice. And so what we know and what we've seen, and you'll see it in your own classrooms, when a father's engaged with the kid, when he's less likely to rescue that child, when he lets that girl or boy work through those problems, that kid becomes a better learner. We know that dads are more active in the initiation of play with their kids. Those kids are better, they handle frustration better, and they become better problem solvers because they've been asked to solve problems. And so because the dad doesn't rescue, because the dad's involved, because the dad lets the kid get frustrated, even at an early age. And again, we dads tend to get in trouble for that sometimes. And you know, we don't leave kids in the front yard and hope they can find the front door. But what we know is that when dads get involved, that kid handles frustration better, and because of that, they're better learners. And that's one of the most important things we can see dads do. They tend to rescue kids later than moms. We're glad moms rescue kids, thank goodness. I don't know what would happen if they didn't. But dads will rescue children, they will keep them safe, but they tend to let them kind of work through things a little bit more. When dads do that, kids are better learners. They help kids become problem solvers, they help kids adapt more and be more adaptive in different situations. Also, boys who have nurturing fathers, they score higher on intelligence tests than boys with less involved fathers. Girls that have fathers that are physically involved with them, they give them hugs, they give them high fives, they wrestle with their daughters like they wrestle with their sons, those girls are more likely to do better in math and science, even if dad doesn't help with homework. And if the dads are like me, sometimes because they don't help with homework. But what we know is that when dads tell that daughter, you're beautiful, first question, you're smart, you can do anything you want, here's how to shoot the basketball, here's how to hit the softball, here's how to whoop every butt on the block, girls no longer are listening to what sometimes is the cultural norm of girls don't do better in science or math. And so we have seen father after father that have daughters that do better in math and science because he's actively physically involved with that young lady. And so we see that all the time. We also know that when fathers are active caregivers between the ages of 18 months and 3 years, the kids that have that dad involved as caregivers during that time have better separation anxiety. They handle it better. They're not always screaming. They're not worried about who they're handing off to. When dads get involved, those kids do better. And I'll tell you why. What kids learn from moms real quickly is, this is my mom. She always takes care of me. She's really good at it. When a dad is engaged, what the kid learns is, this guy's not mom. He does a pretty good job of taking care of me, but mom trusts him to take care of me as well. So I've got mom that takes care of me really well. This guy does okay, and if they don't mind handing me to somebody else, then those people must be okay also. if mom's the only one that has ever cared for this child, and then all of a sudden this child has to go to a babysitter, to a daycare worker, come into kindergarten even if this has gone on for a long time, that child is more likely to melt down and have those things because they haven't learned that mom loves you and takes care of you very well. Dads can also take care of you, so if they can take care of me, then probably these other people are not going to be too bad. So we know that when dads get engaged, he's showing the child and the world somebody other than mom can take care of this child, and that child begins to trust those other ones that are caregivers for them. We also know that when dads read to kids, things happen. We know that it's important for moms to read to kids. When moms read to kids, kids learn to read, they learn to love, they learn to love books. It's important that moms read to kids. But what we found is that when dads read to kids, they learn to read, they learn to love, they learn to love books. And when dads read to kids, their verbal skills can increase by up to 15%, which doesn't happen when moms read to them. The reason that is so important is kids are learning that language is more than just one way. Think about how moms read. When moms read, and a lot of our teachers who are females also read the same way, and the big bad wolf said, little pig, let me in. And it's wonderful. Kids are sleeping, dad's probably sleeping, but we love it when moms read. Nothing wrong with it. It's fantastic. Kids gain from it. But when dads read, we tend to read differently. When dads read to kids, it's a little different than moms. When dads read to kids, it's, and the big bad wolf said, little pig, and the kids squeal, and mom's going, what's going on? And what the kids find out is moms can read, dads can read, but when dads read to kids the way dads read to kids, their verbal skills can go up by up to 15%, which doesn't happen when moms read to them because it's different. It's not better, it's not worse, it's different. And so for our kids to be strong readers, for our kids to have strong verbal skills, it's important that dads read to kids because really serious things happen when dads do that. See, dads that are highly involved in school, they know who the teacher is. They talk to their children about school on a daily or weekly basis. They attend 2 to 3 school events a year. When those dads do that, then that kid is more likely to get A's and B's, less likely to repeat a grade, more likely to be involved in extracurricular activities, less likely to have trouble in the office. And so we know that when dads get engaged in schools, which is what we do at Strong Fathers, which is what we hang our hat on, is this research, is that when dads do that, then this kid's going to have much better results, have less trouble in the office and in the classroom, less trouble among peers because the dad is also on the job, whether mom is or not. The research says regardless of what mom has done, if dad's engaged in the education, then these things are going to happen for this kid. Children who share meals with their dads, spend leisure time with their dads, where dads help with homework or help with reading, they do significantly better academically than those kids that don't have somebody. And people will say they understand that, but they don't understand why all the time. And they also think it's kind of an extra. We believe it's imperative. If we want kids to be the best learners they can be, then we want dads to get involved, and we need dads to be involved in a specific way. It's fine for dads to come to the carnival. It's fine for dads to come watch their kids sing. It's fine for dads to volunteer to walk around the school or do security, but dads have to get across the table from those kids, get those kids in their lap, get those kids on the couch, get those kids to tell them what's going on in school, because when dads engage in the child's education, some pretty amazing things happen. So we know we want dads to be engaged, and this is how we want to do it. So we know that when fathers get involved, it strengthens the support system for children in their preparation for school, their performance in academic situations, and social behavior with their peers, and even among adults. When dads talk to their kids, they don't talk like mom. We don't use a different tone. We don't use a different vocabulary. Not all moms talk baby talk to their kids, but when dads talk to their kids, they don't change their tone, and they tend to use the same vocabulary. Because of that, kids are actually able to better carry on a conversation with adults and have a better vocabulary because of what their dad has done with their conversation. And so we know that we want dads to do that. We want dads to be involved in their education. So we've got several videos coming up. We wanted you to understand that this is not just about kumbaya. This is not just about keeping kids out of jail. This is about making your kindergartner a better student, your first grader a better student, your sixth grader making a better transition into middle school, your eighth grader making a better transition into high school. Your child more likely will be able to finish out their high school education. If a father is involved in that child's education, particularly at an early age, that child is more likely to go on and seek post-secondary education. This is important stuff. This is what we do at Strong Fathers. This is what we want to help you do. So if you have any questions, drop us a note at strongfathers.com/contact. There's a form there. Feel free to put anything in the message. We appreciate you joining us on this video. Look out for the next video in this series. Let us know if you have any questions. Like I said, strongfathers.com/contact. Thanks for joining us.